What if I told you the secret to finding your true self could be as simple as posing for 5 minutes each day? You've probably heard that success is all about working harder and faster, but what if the key to feeling more alive actually comes from slowing down? The truth is, most people feel disconnected from their true self because of distractions. Today, I'm going to show you how you can avoid that trap and start living authentically. By the end of this video, you will have practical tools to help you recognize your true self and feel more connected with who you are. So let's dive in. Think back to the last time you felt totally you, like no filter, no overthinking, just being your natural self. What were you doing? Who were you with? Can you picture that moment? Being your true self is kind of like putting on your comfiest hoodie. You're not dressing up for anyone else. It just feels right. No pulling, no fuss, no awkwardness. Basically, that's what it's like when you're living authentically. You're just comfortable in your own skin. Now let me show you how you can concretely identify people, places, and activities that light you up. You can start by reflecting on your day-to-day experiences. Take a moment each day to pay attention to how you feel. Notice the moments when you feel alive, energized, and authentic. And on the flip side, notice the times when you feel drained or off. For example, do you feel energized after chatting with a friend or working on a project you love? Or were you drained after sitting through a meeting or mindlessly scrolling through social media? Each evening, just write down how you felt throughout the day. Simple notes like felt great talking to Jane or tired after the meeting. After a week or two, you will see patterns emerging. The next step is to create a self-checklist. Turn your moments of authenticity into a checklist, your personal guide to feeling great. For example, do you feel more grounded in nature or in a quiet room or surrounded by hustle and bustle? If you feel more at ease outdoors, just write it down. Who lifts you up? Maybe certain people make you feel heard and understood. If a certain friend lifts you up, just write it down. Are there specific hobbies or passions that make you feel alive, like painting, reading, cooking, or dancing? Add that to your list. Keep this list visible, like on your fridge or in your planner, to remind yourself to include more of these activities in your week. Finally, to really embrace your authentic moments, you need to be fully present. No distractions, just you and the experience. For example, if you're having a conversation with a friend, put down your phone. Or if you're enjoying a walk, stop and notice the breeze, the sounds, the colors around you. Or when you're having your favorite meal, really savor it. Taste every bite, notice the texture, and enjoy the experience. If you're reading or journaling, don't rush through it. Enjoy the process and the clarity it brings to you. After you spend time in an activity that feels authentic, ask yourself, what about this felt good? And how can I bring more of this into my life? Alright, picture this. No one is around you, no expectations, no to-do list hanging over your head. Just you doing whatever feels right in the moment. What do you do first? It might surprise you, but that simple moment could actually be a peek into what makes you truly alive. Think of your life like a garden. When no one is looking, it's like you're watering the plants that naturally thrive in your soil. No forcing, no pressure. These are your wildflowers, the thing that just grow effortlessly. And those moments when you feel most alive, no one has to approve them. They just need space to bloom. Now, let me show you how you can concretely start prioritizing the things that make you feel alive. The first step is to identify what lights you up. Pay attention to what you're doing when you're alone. No pressure, no audience, just you. These are the moments that show you what truly excites you or what brings you peace. It's the stuff you do for the joy of it, without worrying about how it looks or what anyone might think. So for example, do you ever catch yourself singing in the shower, getting lost in your favorite song? Maybe you're doodling in the margins of your notebook, or you're lost in a podcast, fully immersed. Or how about dancing around the kitchen? You know, when your kitchen turns into your personal dance floor and you're just feeling the rhythm. Or maybe it's those quiet moments. A walk in the park, a jog along the beach, just moving and letting your thoughts float by. Or it could be nurturing a plant or pets, caring for something living, just enjoying the moment. So take a minute to write down 2 or 3 things you naturally do when you're alone. Don't worry about making them perfect, meaningful, or productive. Just write down what you gravitate toward when no one is around. Notice how those moments feel. Now, it's not just about what you're doing, it's about how it makes you feel. So let's explore those emotions. Does singing in the shower make you feel free and playful? Does it tap into a carefree side of you? Or when you dance in the kitchen, does it energize you or help you shake things off? Maybe a walk outside makes you feel grounded and peaceful, like you're reconnecting with nature. Or when you're tending plants or cuddling pet, does it leave you feeling calm and connected to something bigger? Here is the key. These little moments, these natural activities, are like gifts from your inner self, giving you clues about what makes you feel truly alive. When you start to notice what fills your energy, joy or peace, you start to see a pattern, and a pattern tells you exactly what nourishes your soul. So next time you find yourself in one of these moments, pause and take a note. Write down how it makes you feel. Is it joyful, energized, calm? Each of these feelings is a clue, a small roadmap leading you to a life that feels more aligned with who you really are. And by paying attention to these little moments of aliveness, you can begin to create more of them. They're your wildflowers waiting to bloom, and all you have to do is give them space to grow. Coming up, we will dive into small everyday signals that guide you towards knowing yourself better. But before getting there, I've created a free self-discovery journal packed with prompts and questions to help you on your journey. Download it using the link in the description below. It's completely free. You know how your brain is always running laps, thinking about what you should have done yesterday or worrying about what's on tomorrow's to-do list. It's exhausting, right? But what if you could soak in the beauty of right now? When was the last time you just let yourself be? Think of your mind like a snow globe. When life gets hectic, it's like someone is shaking it. Thoughts swirling everywhere and you can't see a thing. Mindfulness is like settling the snow globe down. You let everything settle so you can finally see things clearly. Now let me show you how you can concretely not only just get through the day, but actually experience it while feeling more connected to what truly matters. The first step is to start with your breath. Your breath is literally with you all day long. It's like a built-in reset button. But how often do you actually notice it? Like, do you ever stop and feel how your chest rises and falls with each breath? Or do you notice the cool air as you breathe in and how it warms up as you exhale? That is simple, but it could be a mini break for your mind. So set a timer for 2 minutes today and just focus on your breath. No distractions, just feel the air going through, in and out. The next step is to tune into your senses. Your senses are incredible tools for staying in the moment. Have you ever looked out of the window and noticed something you've never seen before? Maybe it's the way the light hits the leaves or how the clouds change shape. Or have you ever heard the hum of your fridge or the sound of your own heartbeat? It's wild how paying attention to the smallest details can instantly ground you. So here is a quick exercise. Next time you're feeling overwhelmed, just hit pause for 30 seconds. Focus on one of your senses, touch, sight or sound, and really notice the world around you. Try it right now and just notice the feeling of the surface you're sitting on, or listen to the sound around you. The next step is to make everyday activities mindful. Mindfulness doesn't just happen when you're meditating on a cushion. You can bring it into your everyday activities as well. Like, when was the last time you actually tasted your food without distractions? How about walking? Do you notice the rhythm of your steps or the feelings of your feet on the ground? Those are tiny moments we often overlook, but when we slow down, the world seems to come alive. So pick one simple activity today, whether it's eating, walking, or brushing your teeth, and do it mindfully. No distractions, just focus on the sensation of the moment and see how it shifts your experience. How much of your day just vanishes? 1 minute you're checking your phone and suddenly an hour has passed and you're lost in a rabbit hole of videos. Sounds familiar, right? What if you could hit pause on all that noise and finally listen to what your inner self is trying to say? Imagine your mind as a cluttered closet. It's filled with stuff you don't need. All habits, distractions, mental clutter. But if you clear it out, you can actually see and use the things that matter to you. Removing distraction is like cleaning out that closet. It makes room for the things you truly love and care about. So let me show you how you can clear out some of that clutter and create space to focus on what is truly important. The first step is to identify your time suckers. You know how you can get sucked into endless scrolling Or maybe binge watching the next episode of a show you're not even that into. Maybe you've opened Instagram for a quick peek only to look up and realize you've been scrolling for an hour. Or maybe you've said just one more episode and suddenly it's 3 a.m. and you've drained your next day. So grab a piece of paper and write down 3 things that actually suck away your time. Just being aware of them is the first step to taking control. The next step is something a little wild but incredibly effective: a digital reset. For a few moments, just imagine the peace you would feel without the constant buzz of notifications or checking your phone every few minutes. What if you turned off social media notifications for just 24 hours? It might sound scary, but think about how nice it would feel to go a whole day without a ping interrupting your thoughts. Or maybe try not checking your phone for a few hours. Instead, spend that time reading, doodling, or simply enjoying a quiet moment. So this week, pick a day or even just a few hours for a digital detox. Don't stress about being perfect, but just see how it feels. The next step is to swap distractions for meaningful activities. It's not just about getting rid of distractions, right? It's about replacing them with something that actually feeds your soul. So for example, what if instead of binge watching another episode, you journaled about your day or picked up that hobby you've been meaning to dive into? Maybe you've always wanted to try painting, writing, or even cooking a new recipe. Imagine how satisfying it would feel to make progress on something like that, instead of mindlessly staring at a screen. Or instead of scrolling through your phone during breaks, why not go for a quick walk to do a few minutes of mindfulness? So for each distraction you want to cut out, think of one meaningful activity to replace it. Maybe it's journaling, going for a walk, or even learning a new skill. Have you ever walked into a room and immediately felt like something was off, even if there was no obvious reason? Maybe you had a gut feeling about the decision and later realized that it was spot on. That is your body trying to tell you something before your mind even catches up. What if you started paying more attention to those quiet whispers your body and mind are sending you? Think of your body and mind like the dashboard of your car. When the check engine light turns on or the low fuel light starts blinking, your car is trying to get your attention. It's saying, hey, something needs your attention before it becomes a bigger problem. And the same thing happens with your body. When your shoulders are tense, your heart is racing, or you feel restless, it's your body's way of giving you a clue. These small signals are meant to guide you in the right direction. Now, let me show you how you can concretely tune into these clues to help you understand yourself better and feel more aligned with your choices. The first step is to take a daily check-in break. So first, actually give yourself the permission to pause and actually check in with how you're feeling, physically and emotionally. It doesn't take long, but it makes a big difference. For example, at the end of your day, just sit in a quiet spot, close your eyes, and take a few deep breaths. Ask yourself, what feels heavy, what feels light? Maybe you'll notice tension in your shoulders or a fluttery feeling in your chest. It's about getting curious about what's going on inside. Or if you wake up feeling off, try this. Sit on the edge of your bed for a moment and check in with yourself. Do you feel tired even after a full night's sleep? Or maybe there is a sense of dread or excitement about what's ahead. Taking a moment to notice these things can help you understand what is really going on inside. You can set a reminder on your phone for a 5-minute check-in break each day. Treat it like a gift to yourself. Just a moment to pause, breathe, and connect with how you're really feeling. The next step is to notice patterns. Your body often reacts to situations before your mind even catches up. If you can tune into those physical sensations, it can give you valuable insights into what is aligning with you or draining you. For example, say you're about to agree to a new project at work, and suddenly your stomach tightens. That could be a sign you're overcommitting to that project that doesn't really excite you as much as you thought. Or maybe you meet someone new and immediately you feel a sense of calm or ease around them. Pay attention to that. It could mean their energy aligns well with yours, or they might be someone good to keep around. So next time you're making a decision, big or small, pause for a second and check in with your body. Is there tension, lightness, or maybe a sense of unease? Use these clues to help you guide your choices. The next step is to track your daydreams and recurring thoughts. What you find yourself daydreaming about or thinking about over and over can reveal a lot about your true desires, worries, or areas needing attention. Maybe you're often imagining what it would be like to start this creative side hustle, whether it's painting, writing, or designing. This could be a sign that you need to carve out some time for something creative and meaningful in your life. Or perhaps you keep thinking about a specific relationship, maybe someone you have drifted away from or someone whose energy drains you. This could be a sign to set boundaries and have a conversation you've been putting off. So you can keep a small journal to write down any recurring thoughts, daydreams, or emotions. And at the end of the week, you can go back and review what you have written, look for patterns, and see what is calling for your attention. It could reveal what is truly important to you. Now, here is the thing. Even with all this self-awareness, it can be tough to know if you're really listening to your true self. So how do you actually know if you're really listening to your inner voice? How can you trust that the decisions you are making are in line with who you truly are? Without understanding how to connect with your true self and filter out the noise, all this mindfulness will not get you as far as you would like. So click on the screen to figure out how to tell the difference between what you really want and all the outside distractions, to make better decisions and reconnect with who you truly are deep down.